Healing is pure pleasure. Healing is pure joy. The process of healing is it feels so good that you can't stop doing it. It feels so pleasurable. It feels so freaking good that you just can't stop doing it. Detoxing and healing is not something scary. It's not a torture. It's not something that you need to force your body into it. It's quite the opposite. If you're approaching health and healing and detoxing with the need of forcing yourself into it, you're not doing it right. Healing needs to be pleasurable. It needs to feel good to your body. It needs to feel so good that you can't stop doing it. Now on this point, let me tell you a little story time. 1 year ago, I actually dropped everything because I realized that I was in a burnout. So prior to that, I was 2 years intensely in a burnout. And with that, I was already following the most optimal diet. I was already living such a healthy lifestyle. I really gave everything in to sustain my health in every way possible, except I wasn't doing things that gave me pleasure. I was forcing myself into doing things that weren't aligned with me fully, that weren't making me jumping from excitement in the morning when I woke up. I was forcing myself into doing something that wasn't serving me fully and wasn't bringing me total joy and total bliss and total happiness, total love. Those things were draining me out of energy, because before that I knew like the term working on something, that if you work on something, you must feel less and less and less energy, and you must feel somehow tired. But I didn't know that if you do something because it feels so pleasurable, because it comes from your pure desires, from your true body's needs, that it actually will give you more energy. The more you do it, it will give you more energy, more creativity, more health, more well-being. I didn't know that. So I was just doing those things because I didn't know better. I was coming from external validations. I wanted to validate myself to people around me. I wanted to prove people that I was worthy, although I was always searching this feeling of worthiness just within myself. It didn't really matter what the other people would say, because those external validations, we only seek them because we are missing something within. So I was in a cycle of doing that, and I actually noticed that my health was actually decreasing. I actually started to have again digestive issues. I actually started to have again also symptoms of endometriosis and PCOS that I didn't feel in like 2 years. I was free from all of those symptoms, and I started to regain them back, and I didn't know what was I doing wrong, because I was following the same diet. I was following the same kind of lifestyle. I was still doing yoga, still doing my workouts. I was active every day, going on walks. I thought that I was doing everything, but then I noticed that when I just let go, when I just fully let go and just be in this present moment without being with my mind in the future or in the past. But when I do things out of the desire, like for example, I was in this forest and I saw a river, and like besides that river it was like a sandy beach. So I saw this sand and I had this urge of just starting to play in the sand, of just playing with water and with sand, like almost like a child. But like then my mind shut this desire down and keeps saying to me like, but what if somebody sees you, like you're an adult, you're grown up, you can't play like kids, like you can do that because blah blah blah. And then like I never really shut my mind, like I always went with my mind, and it brought me nothing but being drained out, without health, without well-being, without energy, without time, without satisfaction, without joy, pleasure. What if I do something differently and just go with that desire? And in that moment, actually, I was really bloated, and I had like this a little stomach pain in my stomach, and also constipated a little bit. And I was already in this the most optimal healthy lifestyle, however you would call it, like for years into it. So I just went in my desires fully, and I just went with it. Like first I started to play with sand, I started to feel it on my skin, I started to put my hands like deeply in the sand, just feeling the coldness of the sand. Then I started to build these castles that we used to build when we were children. Then I saw like water, and I wanted to touch the water, and I wanted to bring the water to that sandy castle, and I wanted to feel the wet sand in the water, just play with it. And I was playing with it, not being in my mind, and coming out of my desires, out of my joy, love and pleasure. And it felt so pleasurable. And then all of a sudden, like 5-10 minutes in, I noticed that actually I wasn't bloated anymore. I didn't feel any stomach pain, and I actually felt like I was about to have a bowel movement. And this just surprised me so much. I mean, the diet is really important, don't get me wrong. And all of those healthy practices, all of those movement practices, they're really important. But you are consuming everything around you. Like everything is just a frequency of some informations, light, sound. Basically anything is just a frequency of some informations, and you're being fed on all of the informations around you. So it's necessary to change your whole lifestyle and to base your whole lifestyle on pleasure, on joy, on love to yourself, to be conscious enough and to be fair enough to yourself to allow to follow the pleasure. Healing and detoxing is always pleasurable. When it is pleasurable, then it is effective. Because when our body is in that survival mode, so when you're thinking too much of the future or the past, then you're not really in this present moment, and you're being just stressed out, and like your body doesn't feel the difference between you just having an idea about something and you really experiencing it. So even if you have like just an idea that stresses you out, so about the future or about the past, your body thinks that it is in that stressful future or in that stressful past. So when the body is too stressed in the survival mode, it is actually fighting for the survival, not thriving or healing or detoxing, but just for bare survival. So your body will just feel the need just to survive. Like, it won't feel the need to invest the energy into detoxing and into healing. It will just want to come out of that extra stressful situation. So all of the energy will go into overcoming that stressful situation, and no energy will go into healing or detoxing or into fueling all of the organs optimally, because that really doesn't matter. Like, you just need to survive that situation. That's why it is so necessary to stop with that and to get into this present moment, to be in this present moment. So to be in your body instead of your mind, and present in this moment, not thinking about the future or the past, but in this moment. So that's when the body is relaxed, the body is enjoying, the body feels the pleasure, and all of the energy actually goes into your whole body, into fueling all of the organs right, efficiently, optimally. So that's when the magic happens. That's when the healing happens. The detoxification happens. Only when you're not stressed. Only when you are in this present moment. Then, when you are in this present moment, you are the creator, because you start to create health and well-being, because actually you have the energy to invest, your body has the energy to invest into health and well-being. That's why you are creating only in this present moment. And everything that feels pleasurable, that gives you joy, that makes you totally in love with this experience called life, is so healing, because it puts you in this present moment and it makes you become the creator. It actually stimulates your creative energy. You will always have like this amount of energy, but when the energy is not used for useless stuff like being in imaginary stressful situation, you have the excess of your full energy. So that's when the energy can be invested into creating whatever you want. So creating the health, the well-being, the healing, the detoxification. So healing should always feel pleasurable and never like torture, never stressed. You shouldn't be ever stressed about detoxification or feeling stressed when you are healing. That's the only gateway to success and to you feeling immediate results after those practices, or I won't even call it practices, after you allow yourself to follow those desires, those needs, and this joy, basically. So this is one of the most important aspects that I've learned on my healing journey so far. And I'm really thanking you for listening to this podcast and really investing your time and energy into this. So for more health inspiration, you can follow me on social media listed down below. And if you want to dive deeper, you can also watch my masterclass where I talk about how I healed my chronic digestive issues without any medications or restrictive diets.